Familiar Wilson's Media. Relationships are the story.
You're trying to be insightful, but I need you to remember that when this podcast is over, you actually have to live in this house with me.
The following podcast uses words like and also. If you're not into any of that shit, then now's your chance.
3, 2, 1.
Run.
Super familiar with Wilson's. Get it!
Welcome to Super Familiar with the Wilsons. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Josh. Amanda, how you doing today?
I'm good, but aren't we the podcast about Marriage 2.0 and all the side quests?
Yes, sorry. I forgot.
Because you're always like, don't start talking until I say the tagline.
Yeah, so we are the podcast about Marriage 2.0 with all the side quests and children, but also like we're Gen X and we're losing our memories and our faculties and all of the things. Very soon, this will be a geriatric podcast, I think.
I mean, we're closing in upon it. But the problem is we have Gen Alpha and Gen Z in this household.
It's not a problem. I think there's a chance that one or more of them will hear this. It's delightful and we love it. It is not a problem.
No, but I'm just saying, like, we have lots of differing viewpoints. But I have a question for you that has to do with, I feel like I don't get very good sleep. And so then that impacts my cognitive abilities. But I was trying really hard to get some good sleep last night, and you decided I wasn't going to. No, that's not what happened. We were going to bed, lights off. You get, annoyed with me when I'm still on my phone. So I put my phone away, I'm laying there, and then you say, how many foods do you think you can count?
Yeah.
At like 10 o'clock on a Saturday night, totally dark in our bedroom. Why?
It's not even sexy talk.
No. Just how many foods?
I'm not looking for eggplant, baby. That's not.
No. Why was this a thing you needed to know last night? Because I kept saying, we'll talk about it tomorrow. No, I want to do it now. I just want you to recognize that should the tables have been turned and I was trying to do this to you, you would have been so annoyed at me. But the thing is, I was annoyed at you, but what's the word you call that? See, this is what happened because I didn't sleep.
You capitulated?
Whatever. You would have just shut it down and refused to do it. So
humored.
That's the word I was looking for.
All I needed you to do, after I established that I could probably name 200 foods,
yes,
is I just needed you to count them, to keep track of them. That's all I needed.
And I did. Up to 110. And because I quit at like 108. I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. And you said, well, let me just get to 110. But I'm pretty sure it was like when you read to the children at bedtime and you skip the pages of the book to get there faster. I know that I wasn't counting accurately for you.
Right. So I maintain that I can name at least 200 foods. Mm-hmm. The reality is, now that I think about it, it's probably a lot more.
Yes. I said 1,000 and you questioned me.
Yeah, well, I don't think that you could name 1,000 foods.
I'm not going to try. That's the difference between me and you.
But there was actually a thread as to why I was thinking about that, and I decided to do that. I was thinking about like how interesting it is that there is stuff in our brains that we don't necessarily know is there, or we don't remember is there. Information that's on a shelf, and unless we need it or we access it, we're not aware of it, but it's there.
Like song lyrics. Like you don't know that song lyric until the song comes on and you start singing it.
Isn't that weird, though?
It's odd.
It's weird and wonderful, the thing about the human brain. And the food thing came up specifically because I was thinking about our mutual friend, Mike Dupay, who is a Jeopardy champion and a champion of champions, or at least he was invited on the Champion of Champions show. I mean, this guy knows his shit, right?
Yeah.
I think I've told this story on the podcast before where I was in a grocery store and I found him in the deli section memorizing meats.
Right. Yeah, you did tell me that.
And I said, Mike, what are you doing? Because he was just kind of standing there and I thought he was looking for something. He says, no, I'm going to go on this Champion of Champions thing and I'm memorizing meats while I'm here. And then he moved on to the cheeses because he might be asked, right?
Yeah.
By Alex Trebek at that point, RIP, about deli meats and cheeses.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, what an interesting brain that dude must
Yep.
have.
Yep.
Let's say this. If you think about brains as like libraries with books in them, right? Because
Yep.
that's kind of the analogy I'm thinking of. It's
Yep.
like I've got books in my
pull it off the
library
shelf.
and I'm not sure that they're there.
Yeah. Yours have been checked out by other people.
Mine is like a neighborhood lending library. You know, those
Just some
little,
random shit.
those little boxes that you see on a post.
Yes.
And his
There's
is,
never anything in there you want either.
yeah, his is like the Library of Congress. And it just must be so interesting to have a brain like that.
Yeah.
Our friend Chris Barron, lead singer of the Spin Doctors, I was just texting with him, and he is learning Greek.
Yes.
He is wanting to write a book about Odysseus, and he's learning Greek so that he can kind of get in that mindset. And he's like on day 11
Yeah.
of learning Greek, and I saw like his pictures of his notebook, and he's learning the Greek. Like a brain that can do that.
Yeah.
I don't think that I can do that.
No.
Ah, yes, the faith that you have in me. Thank you very much for always being in my corner.
Yes. I am here for you, except please don't ask me to name or to number foods. You were getting so mad at me because I'd stopped counting because I was drifting off. By the way, I had taken 2 Dramamine, which I didn't tell you about, so you didn't know about it. But I was feeling so sick to my stomach because I made such good food last night, but ate way too much. And I wasn't feeling great, so I took 2 Dramamine. And so I'm fighting through the Dramamine fog trying to count food for you. And I'd stop because I'd be falling asleep. And then you'd start smacking the bed, like keep going. And it would just, my God, it was the most obnoxious you've been in a very long time.
Again, the point of all that is just I wanted to see, do I still have the brain power that I used to have?
To name food?
Well, just to be able to recall things. It was an exercise, but the larger thing was, do I still have the faculty to be able to recall all these things?
I told you I'd be happy to do this with you on a road trip.
Okay, well, would you want to do it now? Do you
No, I
remember
don't. No one wants that content.
We left. Are you sure? Because that's super interesting. How many foods?
No,
listeners
no
out
one
there,
wants this.
listeners out there, email us familiarwilsons@gmail.com. How many foods do you think you could name?
No one wants this.
I bet you would get an email about this.
God, it's probably Dan Belson just trying to make me annoyed. Anyway, go ahead.
It's interesting because he's a vegan, so I wonder if like he's forgotten about
only name vegan
some
foods.
other foods.
Yes.
I was reading the other day this idea, and I'd heard it before, about how you are an amalgamation of the 5 people that you have spent the most time with.
Like ever in your life or currently?
Yeah, I didn't read that far. I basically
good.
just read the headline as I want to do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But which 5 people do you think affected you the most in your life?
Well-
and that you carry a part of them still with you?
Okay. I'm going to go with immediate influencing because I feel like we change a lot and there are people in our lives who influenced us at one time who no longer influence us. So I'm going to talk about right now.
Okay.
So I'm definitely influenced by Winthrop. I say 6, 7 in ways I never thought I would.
Okay.
I worry about things like if the books from the library are dirty or not. Like he's definitely influencing me.
Okay, so let's talk about that because I was setting up for this recording and all I hear from the other room is Winthrop saying, I don't like the library. It's dirty. Yeah. And so I'm thinking that he's making some sort of a moral judgment that he wants to ban books or, he got himself a copy of the children's version of Lady Chatterley's Lover or something.
No, it's the What's Happening to My Body or whatever.
Or 50 Shades or whatever. He's now afraid of libraries because it's dirty.
He just doesn't like the fact that these books have gone out and they are in other people's homes and then they come back. He's not wrong. I mean,
he
it's
is
kind
wrong.
of weird to think about.
It is. It's, oh my God, such a consumerist attitude you have right there. So I'm going to choose to believe that he's not an elitist that needs new things all the time. But that
no, it's germophobia.
He's a germaphobe.
Yeah, absolutely. And
is he aware of like what's going on at school?
We don't talk about it. We don't draw attention to it if we can't help it. Another influence would be Muffy.
Yeah.
Right? Because Muffy is now the total opposite, where she wants everything secondhand. She's
Right.
really into sustainability. So that's also impacting how I now buy bamboo toilet paper and bamboo paper towels. I haven't gotten to the no paper towels yet. But I mean, I am thinking about that a lot. I have some work friends that I feel like influence me. I'm probably influenced by this dog. And then my mom. I think I carry my mom with me a lot, even though she's been gone for, going on 6 years. But there's this quote that I really try to take in when I'm feeling, when the grief hits, but it's be the thing or the things that you miss most about the person who's gone.
Yeah.
So when I wish that she were here when it comes to, helping like with stuff that's going on with the kids or whatever, I just try to channel the things that would have brought me comfort and then do that either for myself or other people.
Sure. No, I like that. That's very cool. I think that you're the main influence on me right now, obviously.
Because of perimenopause and I'm grumpy at you.
I wasn't going to bring any of that up. I wasn't going to do any of that, friend. I've already gotten yelled at for piling onto you with the perimenopause, and so I'm not here to do that. But no, I think that you have taught me how to be sensitive and how to be compassionate and empathetic, or at least, at the start of our relationship.
Jesus Christ.
And then my two older boys definitely are an influence in that I see how much better they're doing by leaps and bounds than how I did as a kid.
Yeah.
Because they have more support. And so they impress the shit out of me. And then there's like some relationships that are newer, like this gentleman that I podcast with, John Spence, who I'm getting to know. He's like a top 100 global business thought leader, but he's very smart, and a lot of the principles that we go through in this podcast that I do with him, like I'm applying to myself. I texted him the other day and I said, "Hey John, Amanda and I are going through each room and we're doing a list on what we want this room to be because we want to make our house nicer." I said, "Damn it, this is you rubbing off on me."
Did he appreciate that?
He did.
Or did he say you're doing it wrong?
No, he did. He's not necessarily the type that would just say, "Oh, you're doing it wrong." But so I would say that he's becoming an influence on me. But yeah, I think it's really important for us to consider what's influencing us, because if we don't intentionally consider what's influencing us, then all sorts of weird and
You're just passively consuming
the
things around
like
you.
freaking this phone and TikTok and Instagram.
Just heated rivalry and foster puppies. That's all you need.
Yeah, excellent. Very, very good. So y'all should consider who influences you, whether you know that they are or whether you don't know that they are. Let us know, because I'm super curious. familiarwilsons@gmail.com. I got an email from a guy the other day. He said, "This isn't a marketing email," which it clearly was. He says, "I'm not trying to get money from you. I just want to let you know about my podcast." I'm not going to name check it here, but the name Wilson was in the podcast. This is a dude whose last name is Wilson. And apparently his marketing strategy is contact all of the other people, either podcasts or anyone else named Wilson, and try to make the connection with them.
Just because of the last name?
Yes.
I don't get that.
Well, his podcast is about famous Wilsons, right? And so that's kind of his shtick, because that's his name. And he has a website, and on the website, he's listed as many Wilson connected things as possible. So on a page there under podcasts, Super Familiar the Wilsons is there. Now, I did not ask him to put it there.
Yeah.
But like that's his strategy, is like, I'm going to reach out to all. Now, did it work? Kind of, because
you went to his website?
I went and I listened to a part of his show. Wasn't into it at all, and so it's not sustainable. But it was it's just kind of a weird.
That's really odd. Was the volleyball from Castaway there?
You say that. On his first episode, he talked about the volleyball from Castaway.
All right. So little known fact that the podcast pup is actually named after the volleyball from Castaway, not really our last name. And I have to explain that to people. And they're like, "Oh, that's cute. You named him Wilson. But it's really, he's named after the volleyball. Well, maybe the podcast pup should be on because he's got his own Insta.
Listen, this podcast pup, which I wish he wasn't the podcast pup.
He comes anytime you set up for podcasting.
Anytime we set up. I don't know how he knows. So I went upstairs to get the microphones just now, brought them downstairs, set them up on the table. We hung out here for a while. As soon as we closed the door to this room, he's at the door whimpering. How does he know? And what does he think he's going to get from it? Because he sits in here, and he's even done it now. It winds me up so much. He's like licking his paws. He's making noises. Occasionally, he will go and try to rip something apart, like his bed. Only when we're recording. Why? Why?
He did it to me on Friday. I was home because Winthrop didn't have school. I had an interview with a children's movement organization here. They wanted to put some video of me on their socials for this program that I manage. 15-minute window. That dog sat next to me all morning in his bed, so lovely, while I was working on other meetings, no problem. And as soon as they hit record, this joker jumped up and started ripping up his bed. Like, he knows. And I had to just ignore it and keep going. They said they couldn't hear him, but I might be out on their socials with just this in the background. I had to freaking stop and pull a leaf out of his mouth just now.
Thing is that I don't have the ability to tune it out. And like, you get upset at me, and I'm sorry that I cannot just simply record. Like, if he is there and he's making any small noise, like, I lose my train of thought.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know where we are, and it's clearly ADHD. Right.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't be getting frustrated at you. I only get mad at you when you get mad at me because I haven't done something about it.
Right. Well, that was the source of a big argument last night.
Yeah, because you lost your little mind about it.
Well, let's not get into that now. We ended.
Poor Winthrop was like, I don't like it when you fight. And we were trying to be like, you can love someone and still disagree with them and then make it all better. So as long as we made it all better in front of him, which we did, but definitely wasn't the best parenting moment we've ever made.
I saw a thing this morning, a little quote from someone called Rachel Nicole on Threads.
Oh, I know Rachel Nicole.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay, never heard of her. She calls herself an ADHD entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Which must be loads of fun. But her quote was, ADHD is having enough ideas to build an empire and getting stuck on picking the font.
Mm-hmm.
So
does that feel like, do you feel seen?
Oh, yes, very much so, uncomfortably so. So the damn dog, this podcast, if not for the dog, man, we would be so good. We would be so good.
Are you interested in meds, adult ADHD meds? I know tons of adults who went on meds as adults.
I don't know. I don't like that idea so much.
Okay.
When this had to be before I knew you, I went on some sort of medication because I was going through a trying time.
Yeah.
And I didn't like the way it made me feel. It was like the disassociation that you might get from what they say that you get from these other recreational drugs, right? Mm-hmm. But none of the fun.
Yeah.
So it's just like, and I imagine, I don't know. I don't want to be out of my depth here, but ketamine, apparently, like,
you disassociate hard. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just got a small piece of that, and I freaking hated it, man. It felt so weird. I felt like I didn't care about anything, or that I didn't really like connect with anything. I didn't like it. Felt like an alien.
Was it for mental health? Like, was it prescribed for anxiety or depression or something?
It was, I think it was, if I'm remembering correctly, it's for ADD or ADHD or something like that, or anxiety. I don't remember. It was like I said, it's like 15, 20 years ago. And clearly the medications have probably advanced and all this and that. But it left a bad taste in my mouth.
I mean, that's understandable. It took me a while to find an anxiety med that works for me, and I've been on it for years, and I don't feel disconnected from emotion or stress. I just am aware that I'm able to handle it better.
I'm finding out a lot of strategies, physical strategies to use to manage anxiety that surprisingly work. And I think I've talked about a couple of them on here, but all of them are based in grounding yourself in your body.
Yeah.
And reminding you of where you are, orienting you in time and place, and like becoming mindful is what all of that stuff is doing. And that works for me when I remember to do it. That's the thing about medication. You take the medication, it just happens in your body. Right. But, these other techniques, you have to do them, which, I mean, there's agency in that, though. And that feels good when I'm feeling particularly stressed, and I can do the thing where I'm tapping my shoulders, which is another strategy, and that works. Then I'm like, oh shit, I did that.
Yeah.
And you also have the option to stop doing it. You take a medication, and please, oh my gosh, what I don't want people to hear is that I'm against the medications. Clearly, the medications work for members of this family, and they're great. I just have my own personal feelings about it, but I'm so happy that they work for people. So I don't want people to hear that I'm saying that you shouldn't take them.
No, but I mean, some people need the medication and the strategies as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I probably need them. Who knows?
Well, we've talked about the tapping before, but it's been a long time. But there is something that is rooted in our brainstem that harkens back to being in utero and hearing the heartbeat, and that being like, I mean, now you were gestating through a really difficult and stressful time. Your birth mother was in a very stressful time in her life, so there's definitely trauma that happens.
And I was born
utero.
very prematurely. So probably what needs to happen is I just need to go back in the oven for a few months.
Yeah, we'll ship you back up to Vancouver. Isn't that where you were born?
It's where I was born. It's not where my mother's uterus is, and I'm not interested.
I know where your mother's uterus is, but I don't think we should go back there.
I don't want to go back there.
I'm thinking like a NICU incubator in Vancouver is what I'm thinking, because Vancouver feels a little bit safer right now. But rhythm is definitely helps to regulate and to bring down the hypervigilant, like the cortisol and everything. But I had a student when I was teaching first grade who couldn't focus. And he would say, Miss Wilson, I really want to. I can't. Like, he was able to articulate as a first grader, I want to, but I can't. And so our counselor, the school I was teaching at, fortunately, we had a mental health counselor. It wasn't just a guidance counselor. We had a mental health counselor. And she would push in when we were doing whole group, meaning she'd come into my classroom instead of pulling him out. And she would sit behind him and just tap him on the back while I read, and he could focus.
Oh, that's so interesting. Just a note here, the Wilsons are not medical professionals, and you should not take our advice. There you go.
Yeah. But tap yourself. It helps.
Yeah, that's right. That's not a euphemism.
Yeah, we don't mean tap that. We mean
tap that. Well, that's what I was talking about when I wanted to go back in the oven.
Okay, there's a difference between the anatomy of what you're talking about and a uterus, but let's just keep going along.
Is there? Isn't it the
How
same
do
thing?
you not know this? We can. I'm gonna have to show you some diagrams.
Let's go.
Some diagrams when we're done.
Diaphragm? What?
Oh my God! Keep going.
Anyway, this is all just comedy content, folks. I'm not actually this ignorant.
God, I hope not.
That music means that it's game time. And of course, that music is by AJCW, which is also our middle son, Andrew. Check his stuff out on all of the streaming music apps. Amanda, what game time do you have for me today?
We're going to do a flashbacks. We haven't done one in a while. So here is your weekly history quiz from January 10th, 2026. I'm going to give you 8 notable events in history, and you're going to place them in chronological order. You ready?
So I'm going to try to guess what date they happened, but really what you want me to say or what the game demands is just for me to put it on the
before or after
something.
Right.
So,
but you do try to guess around the time. Okay, so here's your anchoring event, right?
Okay.
Now the game that I'm using from the New York Times tells us the year, but we're going to see if you can get close to it. To buy the Virgin Islands from Denmark, the U.S. agrees not to make any claims on Greenland.
Really?
Yep.
All right, so we're going to say, like 1947.
1917.
Oh, okay. Very good.
Okay, so that's your anchoring one, 1917.
All right.
All right, your next one is the U.S. debuts its first food pyramid. And as that's in the news right now. Other designs include a food wheel divided into slices, but focus groups say the slices look too much like pizza.
That's
which
funny.
I would just want to eat. So before or after 1917?
It's definitely after 1917, so I know that I got that right. But we'll say that it's like 1971.
Ooh, 1992.
1992
Yep.
is the first food pyramid?
Yeah. I feel like I knew about this before. I guess maybe it was the wheel. Like you need to have this much on your plate. I guess.
I don't know what to do with that information. I feel like I've been living in a false
Right.
reality because I thought the food pyramid was so old.
Same.
Okay.
Okay. In Chicago, the U.S. builds its first nuclear reactor. If something goes wrong, a man has an axe to quickly cut a rope, which will turn off the reactor. So is this just like this, like the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier? We're just like gonna have somebody posted up here all the time
Yeah, I don't
with
know.
an axe.
Homer Simpson.
Yes.
Okay, so obviously this is in between 1917 and 1992. We think that the first nuclear reactor was probably 1955.
1942.
Oh, okay.
All right. Prohibition begins. To keep its own alcohol flowing, Congress employs a bootlegger, George Cassidy, who works out of congressional offices. Congress breaking laws that they've set. Interesting.
Okay, so that's got to be 1921.
So after 1917, 1920.
1920, Prohibition and the government running alcohol. Excellent.
The Shah of Iran gives speeches to stop a growing revolution. Protesters fight back. They cut the electricity when he and other officials would be on TV.
We're going to say 1985.
1978.
Oh, Jesus.
But you're
okay.
still doing perfectly in your timeline.
Yeah.
All right, number 5. The first oil, well, that's really hard for me to say. The first oil well is drilled in the U.S. There's so much oil that it's stored in the most practical containers available to workers, barrels of whiskey.
Okay, so I'm going to get this wrong. We're going to put that in the 1800s, like 1890.
So before the Virgin Islands
Yep.
thing. 1859.
Nice.
Oh, Lord. Here we go. Okay. Oh, I didn't know this. That's super interesting. Okay. Oh, French words. Here I go. Etienne de Silhouette becomes France's finance minister. He's stingy, so when a cheap art style takes off or of just a person's outline, it's called a silhouette. I had no idea that's where that came from.
Okay. Before the oil things, so we're going to say 1800s. 1800.
1759.
17.
All right, you got 2 more. Near the Dutch colony of Manhattan, the settler Jonas Bronk builds a homestead. It's later known as the Bronx land or simply Bronx. So it was possessive Bronx, and now it's turned into Bronx.
Oh, this is tough. We're going to say before Silhouette.
Okay.
We're going to say 1730.
1639.
Okay, very good.
All right, last one. Ready?
Yep. Going for 100% here at Queen Sleep.
Carl Linnaeus makes a taxonomy for nature from kingdom to species. His dad had scolded him for forgetting a plant's name. He vowed to never do so again.
Oh, God. How
some excellent parenting.
stupidly random is that? I have no
Has nothing to
freaking
do
idea.
with any of these
No,
others.
and nothing about the... So, I'm going to have to go with 1820.
Okay, so
Don't ask me why. I said
after
I'm gonna-
Silhouette,
I'm gonna
before the
have
first
to go
oil
with-
well.
Go ahead.
1735. So you got 7 out of 8, friend.
Damn it. That's annoying. How did you all do? Let us know. Write us at familiarwilsons@gmail.com.
Email.
It is email time. Got a couple of things that we want to read to you today. First of all, we got a message from Dean of Total Cult Zone. Very talented podcaster, artist, and yeah, check him out. And we met Dean when we were in London, but next time we go to London, I would like to hang out with Dean again in a quiet place.
It was really hard to hear in there.
So we met him and the Belsons, and was that it?
I
Just
think
him?
yeah, because the plants were going to come, but Rachel's foot was hurting. So they
In a
didn't.
really, really noisy food hall.
Yep.
And Dean is at that point was, I guess he still is pretty soft spoken.
Mm-hmm.
And man, it was so difficult to hear. But I want to hang out with a super cool guy. We had him on. He was a wrestler.
I was going to say, he doesn't look like someone who would be soft-spoken, but
No,
he
no,
is
no, no,
very
no.
sweet and gentle person.
Very, very nice guy. Anyway, he writes this to us. Catching up on your shows and heard the bit about eating sushi off someone. So we talked about how that's a thing.
Because you didn't believe me.
Eating sushi off of a naked body. Reminded me of a story my partner told me in the week. It's even weirder with food and fetishes.
Okay.
Her workplace has a library of books left by previous patients in the ward. One has been there for ages, as its title isn't appealing to the crowd of geriatrics they usually have to work with. Something about hypnosis and mindfulness.
Okay.
They gifted it recently to one of the doctors as a joke, as it had been a little running gag about it that it's always been there. It's only at this point that they cracked it open and read a few pages.
Mm-hmm.
Along with some woo-woo magic and fake-sounding spirituality nonsense was a bit about, quote, pleasuring your partner using the hypnosis techniques and using food. The one suggestion that stood out, no pun intended, was using, quote, steak juice on a person's
Ew.
particulars to increase enjoyment.
Ew.
Not sure how animal fat, oil, and blood will make a BJ any better. I'd take plucking a bit of sushi off of a nip like a weird game of Operation over that any day, though.
Ew. Ew. Is it like a jus? Like when you get like a French dip, you're like, dip it in there and oh, ew.
Well,
Dean.
I'm quite certain that French dip is also the name of some sort of sexual perversion. So there you go. Thank you, Dean.
Oh God, you got to go with something that's got a little bit more like viscosity to it, so it'll like stick to it.
Dude, I don't know.
Like ranch dip, or something like that.
My thing is, and I answered him with this, is that I don't want anything on my Johnson that will encourage someone to take a little bite, a little nibble, a little taste.
Nibbles, yes.
Not into that even a little bit. So there you go. Thanks, Dean. Anyone else have any stories about putting stuff on places? Email us at
We know the whipped cream, we know the chocolate sauce. We don't need that.
Yeah.
Steak juice is new.
I told Dean that we would call this episode Steak Juice, and we're doing it.
Okay. Gross. Blech.
And we have another letter or email. They're really emails. They're not letters. That we got from Kate. Kate listened to our last episode. She's going to refer to a lot of that in here, so I'll try to keep you up or catch you up if
Or
you...
also go listen to that episode.
Actually, you should. So she said that our cold open was super. It reminds me of my favorite podcast, Maintenance Phase, and If Books Could Kill. I think I'm going to start to do cold opens now.
What was our cold open?
This is proof that you don't listen to our show.
I did listen to last week's.
It's where you're talking about how Zamboni would be. Driver.
No. I guess I didn't listen to last week's. That was the week before I listened to.
We were talking about yearbooks. Do yearbooks still exist? And she says, I've destroyed all my yearbooks save for my senior yearbook. See, this is what I'm saying. My only good picture was my senior
this
picture.
is what I'm doing while you cut the episode. I'm going to go out there and pull out your yearbooks.
No, you're not.
I am.
No, because I'm going to go get them and I'm going to hide them.
No, you'll be busy with the episode.
As a teacher at my kid's school, the yearbook is more for me for identification purposes because I'm surrounded by so many children I don't personally teach, and I need to call them out by name when they're annoying me in the hall.
Yes.
That's very good.
Good.
Please see attached photo of Tony as a youth is my favorite thing ever. So this is a picture of her husband as a kid, and the glasses in that picture are the glasses that I was talking about last week that I wore. And for the life of me, and Tony helped me answer this question, why the hell did we allow pictures to be taken of us?
I've seen Tony's face in this picture, and I don't think he was agreeing with it.
Yes.
That was done against his will.
Here's an interesting sentence. Amanda, I am sorry you are short.
I am short, and it's the worst.
It's
the worst, Kate.
As your tall friend, I'll come over there and take that picture down for you. And
Thank
the picture to which she refers is a picture that Amanda does not like of herself that I put on a high shelf, so she can't get at it. She says, I have too many thoughts for an email. I should probably come on as a guest.
Well, Kate and Tony were just here, and I tried to get her to come in and do this, but we were too busy gossiping about the neighborhood.
That would really give a boost to my imaginary stand-up career as well. We talked a little bit last week about this group that we are attending that is not going to be a church, but is going to be some sort of group where we get together and talk about the deep things of life. She says, 100% your friend gathering is a cult origin story.
Yes.
Please at least choose a good name for your cult. I don't care for NXIVM.
That's the sex cult.
Or non-denominational church.
That's the cult I grew up in.
Ah, yes. The NXIVM, is that said?
I don't know. I only ever read it in print. I don't know how it's pronounced.
Nixivum.
I don't know.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. She says, why is Josh such an op, as the kids say, to Amanda?
Yeah, we had to get Jen Alpha to explain this to us. So James explained he said it means opposite, but I think it means opposition.
Yes. In other words, I'm opposing you exercising is what she's saying here. I'll go for a walk and do yoga with you, Amanda. You don't need that negativity in your fitness routine.
I don't, and it lives in my house.
And then she ends with, Josh, stop making perimenopause all about you, or the middle-aged ladies will rally and sweat all over you during a hot flash while screaming at you about something that angered us in 2015.
Which also sounds like a cult. It sounds like a cult experience.
Some cult leaders would be really into that.
And listen, so we were talking, I think, last week about how we went to show and tell. Did we talk about that in last week's episode with our friend Colin?
Yes.
And one of the women who participated in show and tell talked about perimenopause and how it is stolen all over words. And so I said, I think we need a perimenopause version of this. Colin very wisely said, I don't think I can host that. So he volunteered me to host it. But I think that might be the origin of our perimenopause cult.
Very good. I mean, God forbid you all organize.
You just want to be with people who understand the perjury that is happening to you.
Oh, yes. There's nothing so pure as trauma bonding.
Perjury, is that right? Perjury means when you don't tell the truth.
Purgatory.
Purgatory is what I mean. See? Ay. Thank you, Kate, for sticking up for me.
Send us emails. We want to hear from you. familiarwilsons@gmail.com. All right, Amanda, that's all there is. There is no more. What do you think about that mess?
Well, before we go, are you not at all excited to talk about how the fact that your Miami Hurricanes are in the national championship for the first time in like how long?
Oh, God, it's so stressful. Oh.
It's the Miami Super Bowl? Is this what it's being called?
No, it's being called the Cuban Super Bowl because, of course, you have the Miami connection with the team there. It's in Miami. The coach is Mario Cristobal. He's Cuban. So there's on the Miami team. And then on the Indiana team, the quarterback for Indiana, Fernando Mendoza, is from Miami. And I don't know why he didn't go to UM. I'm sure that's a thing that's been reported on. So this is being called the Cuban Super Bowl.
Are you nervous?
Yeah, because Indiana's a buzzsaw. So...
Are they still undefeated? Of course they are. Like, they didn't lose in the playoffs. That was the dumbest thing I've ever asked. Have you put any money or anything down on this game?
No. So me and some friends are going over to Chicken Tom's house tomorrow, and we are going to watch it. And I might stay for the whole game. I might not stay for the whole game.
On how it goes.
I think I'm going to take a blindfold with me or a sleeping bag I can bury myself in and just huddle in the corner. I don't know. But
as long as you're not taking some ranch dip.
That's God, what's wrong with you? All right, so we want to thank Dean for his
Thanks for that, Dean.
Maybe we want to thank Dean. To Kate, to Chris Barron for our theme song, and also we want to thank the following people for just being great and the reason why we do our show. Every week is for folks like this: Antonio Jascar, Daniel J. Buckets, Chicken Tom, Matt, Monique, Ryan Baker, Joey, Leo, Refined Gay Jeff, Mark and Rachel, and Dan and Gavin. Thanks, folks, for being you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, so until next week, you all take it easy and just be careful with the steak juice. That can get in places and it might burn. I don't know.
Go be kind.
Bye.
Bye.
Welcome back to the conversation.